Yo, what's up guys, Prometheus King here, and today we're going to talk about the new Marvel Rivals Season 1.5 update. There have been some major changes, and first thing to go over is the buffs and the nerfs coming to all the different characters. First topic we're going to talk about, which I think a lot of people have not been touching on too much, has been the Vanguards. Venom's had a huge buff. The first buff he has is that his ultimate skill has been reduced for the amount of energy he needs to charge it up from 2800 to 2500. And the next big thing is that his knock-em effect, instead of going vertically, now knocks them inwards at an angle of 75 degrees, which is really good of taking people and bringing them towards your team. The second big update has been Captain America. Overall, he has increased survivability, so during his jumps, he can now use absolute will. He also got a buff to his ult, which charges up faster, and his combat experience has been increased with his melee attacks. Overall, very good buff to Captain America. I think this is going to be very annoying to deal with personally. Now, Thor has probably gotten the craziest buff I've ever seen. His Rune Awakening form now has no cooldown. He can just pop it and keep going, which to me personally, I feel like is crazy. It's going to up his damage by a ton, and he's going to be a real threat on the battlefield. Magneto, I think overall has been nerfed. Overall, his defensiveness has been nerfed, but his attack has been increased. I think it's obviously not a surprise to anybody, but Doctor Strange, you got his survivability nerfed. Makes sense. Overall, for Iron Fist, they have decreased the damage of his melee attacks on his ability, but they have also increased the amount of survivability he has. The amount of additional health he gets from meditation increased from 50 to 150, which is insane. Base health from 250 to 300, and the amount of damage he converts to block damage from his reflect has been adjusted from 150 to 200. So overall, he has a lot more survivability in the field, but his damage has been slightly nerfed. Now, Mr. Fantastic's interesting because the damage of his ult has been increased, but also his energy for charging the ult has also been increased. So overall, I think this is a buff. Now, I think Iron Man has probably gotten the most balanced change out of anyone on this entire list. His repulsor beam, the damage has been increased, so it basically makes him more viable outside of the Gamma team up, which I think is very good because Iron Man's a very cool and fun agent to play, but I think is underused because usually Gamma is banned in most ranked games. Hawkeye's blast arrows have been buffed, and his reflect has been buffed as well from 50 seconds to 12 seconds. And his ultimate skill has been buffed, increasing the magnification of from 1.2 to 1.35. Another non-surprising nerf is Storm. Overall, the threat for longer distances has been reduced, and her buffs for herself has also been reduced. Star-Lord's ult has been nerfed to charge up slower, which I think is also a good nerf. I think his ult was on too often. Even though it has more niche instances, I think this is a great change personally. Scarlet Witch has also had increased survivability in her ult, which is very good. I think every time you see a Scarlet Witch ulting, everyone just hard targets her, and usually it doesn't work out very well. So I think this is actually a great change for her. Spider-Man, nothing too crazy. Web Grenade has been reduced from 3 seconds to 2.5 seconds per charge. I think it just helps him for better consistent damage. Moon Knight has been also heavily nerfed. They decreased the whole mechanic of the center of the ult doing more damage, and now the separate fists would be the way that his ult does damage, but the damage per fist has been increased from 75 to 150, which I think makes up a little bit for the fact that it won't be as consistent. But overall, I think you'll see less of Moon Knight being played with that ult change. Black Widow is very interesting because her ult's slow has been reduced heavily, which is insane. I think that slow was what makes her ult very good, but her capacity for her regular rifle has been almost doubled, which I think can be very good for more consistency, especially with a Mantis team up. Hela has also been buffed, which I think is good. I think she's been feeling a little weak from long range, so this is a great change, and I'm actually very excited to play her more. Now, the list that we've all been waiting for, Strategist. I think many of you probably know by now, but overall, basically just a quick rundown. Cloak and Dagger got nerfed to the ground. This is probably the biggest thing here. Her ult now takes way longer to charge. It doesn't stack. Her healing effect does not stack anymore. And the ult's healing effect, the purple shadow, does not last as long. But on top of that, for a slight buff to it, she now dashes faster, which could help with her survivability from Magneto ults, Hawkeye one-shots, etc. Another slight buff is her Fear Cloak now increases the damage to the enemy from 20% to 28%. Nothing crazy. Luna, pretty simple. Her ult takes longer to charge. Loki, same thing. Ult takes longer to charge, but he also got buffed with his ammo capacity, which I think was needed. Only 10 ammo was not good enough for me personally. I think this is a great change. Mantis got slightly nerfed. She gets less bonus health from her ultimate, but no ult changed in terms of how long it takes to charge up, so you might see a lot more Mantis being played. An Invisible Woman also got her ult changed from 4,000 to 4,300 to charge up. I think this is a fine change. I don't think she necessarily needed it. I think her ult is the weaker ult of the rest of them, and could have been the same because it lasts very short. Another interesting change for me personally is Adam Warlock. His damage was increased, and his Soul Link healing was also increased, which I think is very, very strong. His Soul Link is already insanely powerful, but letting that heal be a little bit stronger, I think is going to be making him a lot more meta. And another thing to keep in mind too is Rocket has had 0 changes. Rocket already has been a menace in ranked, has been a menace in quick play, and just in general. And his team up with Punisher has been insane. So I think we're going to be seeing a ton of Rocket in this new 1.5 season update. Last but not least, damage of Iron Man's repulsor beam, his chest beam, has been reduced while he's in gamma overload. The health bonus Hulk received has also been reduced. And Iron Man, honestly, I think this is going to push for Iron Man to be a separate player outside of the gamma team up. For anybody, you should not play a character purely for the team up. So I think this also is a very, very good for pushing players to play them outside the team up. The Psionic Disc team up has also been buffed with reducing the time it takes to revert back in time as Black Panther and Psylocke. It also increases the amount of bonus health you get after you go back in time. Now, a lot of people might not think this is a big deal. I think this is probably the biggest deal of all the team ups. So basically, the amount of time that the symbiote bond is on Spider-Man or Penny has been reduced from 4 seconds to 1 second. But the craziest part about all this is that while you're in that symbiote bond form, you're fully invulnerable. You're fully invincible, which is insane. This could be so good in so many different cases, blocking Magneto ults, blocking Iron Man ults. For Spider-Man, honestly, I think this just makes him stronger because now he has great survivability when one-shotting in the backliner, which is insane. Also, quick correction, Penny is from 4 seconds to 2 seconds. Spider-Man's from 4 seconds to 1 second. So take that as you will. Frozen Chi, I think this is also very good because I like to play Luna, but the amount of healing that the extra ability does is up from 50 to 75, which is great. And the slow has also been increased from 20% to 30%. I think this is insane. I think with the new Iron Fist buffs, you're going to see that potentially an Iron Fist Luna combo being used more for a very defensive sided team. So yeah, guys, that's been all the buffs and nerfs so far in patch 1.5. Overall, I think this was very needed for a lot of these characters. I think Thor is going to be a menace. I think Rocket's going to be a menace. I think Luna and Lee Sin will be potentially a very strong combo being used in high elo ranked. But yeah, guys, if you stuck through this far, I want you to know I appreciate it so, so much. And if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and don't forget to subscribe. It really helps a ton. Also, if you have any different opinions from me, I want to hear them. So please comment them down below and let me know what your favorite change was. All right, enough yappage for me. I'm out of here. Peace.